December 22nd, and it's time for question number 7 in the semifinal of the beer quiz calendar. And this is the final question in the semifinal before the tiebreaker. So let's see if someone is through to the final already today. We have in the lead right now Chris from Transient with 5 points, and right behind him we have Eric and Kenny and Philip on 4 points, and then it's a bunch of people chasing them for the final spots on Christmas Eve. But let's see who will get some points today. And today's question is about the state of Colorado. I want to know which of the following breweries are not from Colorado. Great Divide, Avery, Oskar Blues, or Hoppin' Frog. And I have beers from 2 of them. Here we have Avery, and this is the Uncle Jacob's Stout, and this is a 2018, so it's been in my shelves for quite a few years now. Well, we have some slight notes of chocolate in the nose, but also some dust and some soy, I must say. So, well, maybe it has turned bad. Let's see. No, it's surprisingly rich. Very much chocolate, none of that soy feeling that you get from stouts when they have had a few years on the shelves. No, this is nice. This is really nice. Very rich, not dusty at all. No soy. A bit. A slight burn from the alcohol, but it is 15%. So, well, I'm surprised. It has held up pretty good. This Uncle Jacob Stout. So yeah, if you find one still at a bar, don't hesitate to order it. If it's 2018, it's still good. But it's been a while since we saw Avery in Sweden. We used to get a lot of Avery a few years ago, but I haven't seen that much of Avery recently. But that is one of the breweries which is featured in today's question, and the other one is this. This is my favorite beer. This is my go-to beer. I have it at home always. Dale's Pale Ale from Oskar Blues. But I don't have any beers from Great Divide or Hoppin' Frog right now, even though this year's Boris from Hoppin' Frog was recently released here in Sweden again. But the question is, which one of these 4 are not from Colorado? And in the bottom, we have still on 0 points, Isla from Noisy Bastards and Brian from Claimstake. And unfortunately, they can't make it through to the final. But let's still take a look what they answered.
Which of the following breweries are not from Colorado? Avery, Oskar Blues, Hoppin' Frog, or Great Divide?
Hoppin' Frog.
Hoppin' Frog.
Both answered Hoppin' Frog, which is the correct answer. Hoppin' Frog is not from Colorado, it's from Akron, Ohio. So Isla and Brian gets their first point. Good for them, they don't need to leave this competition empty-handed. So, but still no final, but thanks a lot, Isla and Brian. Always, Isla, always a pleasure meeting you at Great Swedish Beer Fest. And Brian, I hope to see you again at Brewskival next year. But now, let's take a look at the people on 2 points. We have Lua from Perfectly Squared, Edvin from Poppels, we have Karin from Rådanes, Stefan Halley, What's on Tap podcast, and Matthias from Bottenviken. And this is how they answered.
Vi kör på Oskar Blues. säger hopping frog.
Vi säger Great Divide. Hopping frog tar vi då.
Avery is hopping frog. What was the other one? Great Divide.
Great Divide, Oscar Blues, Avery, and Hopping Frog.
I'm gonna say hopping frog. I think they're Californian.
Well, Matthias said Oscar Blues and Lua said Great Divide, so no points for them. But Stefan, Karin and Edvin moves up to 3 points before tomorrow's tiebreaker question. And now, on 3 points before today's question, we have Glenn, Stoffe, Bastian, Jessica and Martin. Let's take a look at Stoffe.
Hopping frog. Det är Ohio.
No problem there. Hopping frog, correct answer. How about Martin?
Great Divide. Hopping frog.
Correct from Martin also. Bastian, do you know this one?
I think hopping frog. I'm not sure. I say hopping frog.
Yes, he does. And Glenn, what is your answer?
Think. Hopping frog and Great Divide. It's only one?
Only one.
Hopping frog.
Hopping frog from Glenn also. And that leaves us only Jessica.
Oscar Blues. Nej, vänta ta nu. Great Divide ligger i Denver. Och vilka var det mer? Vilka sa?
Avery, Oscar Blues och Hopping Frog.
Det måste vara Hopping Frog.
Oh, she changed her mind there from Oscar Blues to Hopping Frog. That can be crucial in the long term. So points for Jessica there also. And they all move up to 4 points. And on 4 points before this question, we have Eric, Kenny and Philip. And let's take a look at Kenny's answer.
Hopping frog tror jag faktiskt. Hopping frog.
Hopping frog from Kenny also. Kenny moves up to 5 points. He is in a good position right now to make it through to the final. And let's take a look at Philip.
Avery. That's my guess.
Oh, Avery. An incorrect answer. That means that Philip is still on 4 points. Eric, you're up next. What's your answer?
Oscar Blues.
Another incorrect answer. Oscar Blues. That means that Eric is still on 4 points. There are now 7 people on 4 points before tomorrow's tiebreaker. And we have Kenny on 5 points, and the only one left to give an answer is Chris from Transient, who had 5 points before today. And if Chris gets this right, he will move up to 6 points, and he will be in the final on Christmas Eve. So let's see if Chris also answers Hopping Frog.
Hopping frog.
Yes, of course he knew that one. Hopping Frog. That means that Chris has 6 points and he is in the final on Christmas Eve. So congratulations, Chris. See you on Christmas Eve again. And as you can see, Kenny has 5 points. He's in a good position. And then we have Eric, Philip, Glenn, Stoffe, Bastian, Jessica and Martin on 4 points. And Karin, Edvin and Stefan also has a chance if they are correct on the tiebreaker tomorrow to make it through to the final. But unfortunately, Lua and Matthias has too few points, so they are also out of the competition. So we say thank you, Lua, thank you, Matthias, and thank you, Ayla, thank you, Brian. And tomorrow, it's the second last episode of the beer calendar, and it's time for the tiebreaker, and we'll see which other 4 besides Chris that makes it through to the final. So cheers, Merry Christmas, see you tomorrow.